Okay, here we are with young Copper, a young lab pup. Now Copper belongs to a young man who was recently given this dog. Now he did a puppy class with me and the young guy did really good with his lab. But the problem with this dog, like most labs, is they're so social, so strong. He has trouble with the walking, which is to be expected for this breed. They just love everyone and they need to get to everyone, and it can be a real battle. So I want to use this video, obviously I'm going to teach this guy how to walk on a lead, but I want to use this video to show you guys how you introduce a slip lead or a head harness to your dog. People often ask which is the best. They're both very good. It really depends on one major thing, is your skill level. With a slip lead, which I'll show you in a second when I have on me, if you don't have the skill, you're not going to get the result with it. And yes, in the end, the dog can just pull and choke itself and be uncomfortable. But if you know how to use a slip lead, they're very, very good. So I want to teach you a bit of a lesson on using that. And then I'm going to introduce this guy to the head harnesses, and that is the equipment I want these guys to walk this dog on, because his owner is very young and not a very big guy. So he has trouble with the guy because he's growing all the time. So I think a head harness for now initially will be good, and then later they can maybe fade that away and go to other equipment, maybe back to a flat collar. But for right now, this guy pulls badly. This is how he walks. So if he gets to other dogs, that's how he is. Up on his 2 feet, and this is me leaning against this dog, back. And he's only young, he's not very old. So clearly we have a problem with the dog that doesn't know how to walk on a lead. I love labs, but they need training like every dog, they need training. So let's go to it. Let's start with the slip lead introduction, and I'm going to show you that, and then we're going to go to the head harness. Okay, so here is our slip lead. Now the big thing is with a slip lead is skills, but also how the dog wears it. So when I put it on the dog, I want you to imagine this is the dog's head. I've got the slip lead here. The lead goes over, so when it comes to here and you release it, it can slide back down like so. We don't want to put it over the other way with this to the bottom so it stays up and doesn't release. So make sure firstly that you put your slip lead on the right way. On the dog, and I want to put it high up near his ears. And all I'm going to do is slide this rubber stopper until I can only get about 3 fingers underneath. So clearly it's loose, it's not choking, nothing like that, but it stays in position. I'm going to release my other lead, get this out of the way. Okay, so the first thing we need to remember with a slip lead, well actually all equipment when you're walking a dog, it's all about pressure and release. If you want your dog to walk in the correct position, and let's say it is here, which is about right, but your dog's in this position and you still hold the lead tight, this sends a message to a dog. Firstly, they're going to pull against it. Secondly, they thought they were doing the right thing, but you're still pulling, so it's a very confusing thing to your dog. It has to be very clear that when you're in the right position and the lead is loose, I'm always doing something right. The dog needs to understand when this is loose, you are in the right position. So I'm going to use these dogs as my training target. It's good to have a target because training a dog in just an area like this is easy. But you need realistically a target to walk towards, because this is going to be the real world side of things. The real world is not car parks. It's the beach, it's the park, it's walking down near break walls, it's downtown, whatever. And you have dogs and you have people. So this is what we need to use as a target. What I'm not going to do is cue this dog. So I'm not going to walk and turn and say heel. I'm just going to walk in towards the target. I'm going to turn and do a 180 turn back and give small corrections, and you're going to see this very quickly come into effect of who's paying attention to who. Right now, there's no attention to me. I am going to go to food for a young dog, but I'm going to use it as a reward, not as a bribe, not as a please follow me. I'm going to reward him with food for making a good choice for follow me. There's a big difference, guys. Follow me, or you follow me and I reward you as a surprise. That's where we want to use the food. So let's go. You see it already. Starting to walk. Now watch what I do. See this here? This is where I don't pull from. I let it go slack and give a little correction. So this, watch this. We go forward, little pop, and I come back. Good boy. Yeah, good boy. Yes, good boy. And it happens very quick. Little about turns. Good boy. Yes. Yes. Good boy. Now I'm going to start rewarding this guy, because watch what he's doing. See this look up? Good boy, Copper. Yes, good boy. That's rewardable. Just that little one there. Doesn't need to be perfect. Any effort he makes to follow. Yes, good boy. Good boy. And that's him making a choice. And I mean, I'm not telling him to do anything. Oh, look at you. Dogs, dog. Good boy. Let's go. Yes, good boy. Good boy. Look at you. Yes. I got to reward this, huh? Good boy. And this is how quick it can happen, guys. If you know what you're doing, look at this dog. A way to a dog's heart, especially a lab, is food. Good boy. Look at the lead. Pressure and release. Pressure and release. Let's go. Yes. Good boy, buddy. Loose lead. Good boy. And that took like Copper. Sit. Let's go. Good boy. Now he's showing restraint. He's got like 5 dogs there. Watch, see this? Watch what I do. See this? Little pop. 2 fingers. Nothing. I want this dog to make good choices because he should. Not just for food, because then the problem is when you don't have food, your dog loses focus. I want to teach this guy and all dogs that food is a secondary. Copper, sit. Good sit. But primarily, you do what I ask because I asked. Simple as that. And I need you to walk with me. Good boy, nice loose lead. You go across the body. I think this comes out of me. This is more how I was taught with a police dog. Was lead across the body, right hand. Let's go. But with your pets, you want to get to the stage where you're just walking like this. And now I stop not paying attention to him as much. I should just better walk. Good boy. And just go by feel. Think about when you're fishing, when you feel a line pull, you just feel and you react to it. It's the same with your hand. Good boy. With your slip lead. Little pops, little ones. Not big, it's not harsh. I'm not hurting him at all. Let's go, quick. Good boy. Now I might stop and do a little sit. Good boy, good boy. That's the way, buddy. Yes, good boy. Heel. Give a little heel command. We start adding that word in there. Remember, don't overpraise your dogs. Praise them when they're there. Let's go. Heel. Only when they're in the right position. I see people praising dogs, they're all over the place and they're going, good dog, good dog. Don't give it. Give the reinforcement, positive, when they're in the right spot. Let's go. Good boy. So only give that positive reinforcement when your dogs are doing the right thing. Let's go. Make them work for it. Let's go. You. No, leave it. Little leave it for distraction. You. Good boy, Copper. Nice loose lead. Okay, here we go to the head harness introduction. Depending on what sort of head harness you have. Where are we? On the camera there? Yep. You will figure out your head harness, whichever one you get. Now, the key to introducing these to a dog, one is some dogs just don't care, which is a bonus. Others take time. Others, we've all seen it, they freak out, they roll around, they act like crazy dogs. But there is a few points that are important. We want to try and avoid and dragging our dog around with one on. But we also got to not let the dog be in control. So this is what I do for the start. The dog will walk, I let it just walk where it wants. And they're all going to do this. Let's go. We try and distract it, but not reprimand. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Yes, good dog. Because remember, this feels strange. This is what people call these aversive, which drives me crazy. This is no different than getting a dog used to anything, walking, whatever. So we try and redirect them and distract them with some food People seem to have this real stigma with head harnesses being horrible, cruel equipment, which I never understood. I never understand. It drives me crazy because they're fixing so many dogs walking. Good job. Yeah, there's a little period where your dog doesn't love it. Life's tough sometimes. Life's tough. But if it means in the end the dog's going to walk better, this time I am using food as a bit of a bribe because it's more of a redirect. I'm trying to just get Copper not focused on the head harness, but just walking, a bit of food. Good boy. Until he sort of forgets about it. Good boy. Let's go. Come on. Yeah, good boy. And in a second we're going to go for a street walk. That's the way. And I'm just letting him go where he wants right now. It's more about just wearing this thing and getting used to it. Good boy. Yes. Good boy. Here we go. Now come on, for you people out there, let's go, who call this cruel, aversive, shouldn't put them on dogs. You need to try one yourself. You need to calm down. There's a lot worse ways dogs are getting treated than a silly head harness on them. It's not a big deal. If it means dogs are walking better, let's go. Good boy, yes. And owners aren't getting frustrated and people aren't getting dragged around. Let's go, quick. Yes, and watch this, pressure off. As soon as he follows, good boy. I try and keep it nice and loose. Let's go. Yes, good boy. That's the way. Make a game of it. Put some effort in. Good boy. Yeah, good boy. And just get him walking like this. Let's go, let's go. Leave it, leave it. Couple little leave it commands. We have a golden retriever over here who's fanatical about wanting to meet this dog. You've seen a couple of escapes already. Come on, let's go, let's go. Let's go, buddy. Yeah, good, good. They soon get used to it, guys. Let's go, let's go. Yes, good dog. Okay, there we go. Yeah, good puppy. Copper, sit. Good sit. There we go, let's go. Heel, quick. Drop the little heel command in there. Copper, come. Yeah, there we go. Good boy, good walking. Got to work with these dogs. You've got to work for them. Sit. Let's go. Heel. He's learning right now, and you've got to put an effort into make him motivated, make him enjoy it. Don't be a lazy handler. Heel. Good boy. Ah, good heel. Good heel, buddy. Whoop. Dropped a bit. Quick. You earned that. Heel. Come on. Let's go. Heel. Yeah, it's not a heel standard of people doing competitions of obedience. We don't have to do that. This is a pet, guys. We're just after a dog that his version of heel. Let's go. Yeah, it's a little bit more lax than a competitive heel. I get it, but we're not after that. We're after a dog that his heel is not pulling on the lead and walking pretty much beside my leg. Okay, what we're going to do now, let's go, heel, quick. Yes, a little pop. We're going to go for a street walk to finish off and see how he goes out in the street. So I'm going to hold the camera here, a little bit worse videoing, but I'll do my best. And this will be his completion of being introduced to a head harness. And it's not that bad. He's okay. Let's do it. You know why we have so many problems in dogs these days? It's for the exact reason I talk about. People are scared to tell their dogs off. There's this movement in dog training, and apparently we're not allowed to raise our voice, we're not allowed to give any corrections, we're not allowed to use any equipment the dog doesn't like because the dog's priority. I'm not talking about cruelty, I'm talking about just using a simple head harness. I'm going to show you in a second how good this guy's walking. Or using a slip lead. If you know how to use equipment, and you're skilled at it, you're not going to hurt your dog. It may not like it at the start. Yeah, yes, he didn't love having the head harness on, but guess what? I got a dog walking right by my side now, not pulling. We have to take the priority away from what the dog loves and we can't do anything and put it back onto the human. You're the human. You should be able to walk your dog on what you feel works best for your dog. Obviously within reason. We're not talking about cruelty, but what works for your dog. But it's gotten crazy. And this is, again, like I said, the reason we are in the position we are with so many dogs not listening, because we are afraid to tell our dogs off or even teach our dogs anymore. It's all about food, food, food. I've used some with this guy this time, but only as reward, not as a bribe, more as a reward for making a good choice. So guys, don't be scared to use what equipment you need on your dog. You use what works for you. Don't listen to the haters. The people who have really no idea, to be honest, most people, giving their opinions, but haven't trained a dog in their life, and they just jump on the bandwagon with what works or what they should be saying. All this virtue signaling, saying my way is the best way, when you haven't even done it and tested it yourself. And the people who are commenting, you're not the ones having to walk these dogs that are out of control. You may have a good dog. So it's easier for you to comment and go, oh, you shouldn't use that. Well, how about you? Have you had this dog? What would you do? Your methods might not work on this new dog, on this dog. So have a bit of heart for people who need to use what works for them. Don't put your judgment on them so harshly. Look at their situation. I mean, look at their individual circumstances of their dog and what they need. Maybe you'll understand that, okay, this might work for them, whether it be a slip lead or head harness or whatever you choose. Look at this. You saw Copper walking before. Let's go, buddy. Good boy. And look, he's all right. He's not broken. He's not curled up in a ball, terrified. He's walking calmly. Copper. Yeah, good boy. Yeah, he had a little stop and didn't want to walk with it initially when I first come out in the street. But guess what? Like I said, life's tough sometimes. And look at him now. What a good boy. He's walking perfect. There's now no stress. I'm not being dragged down the street. You saw this dog stand up on his back feet. When the owner turned up today, he was being dragged up the street. It's out of control. Can we fade this equipment away later? Yeah, we possibly can fade it away. We can go back to like a flat collar. We could get rid of it. But for now, while he learns, we need to deal with this and we need to use equipment that works. Could they use a slip lead? Yes, they could if they were skilled enough. But he's a young man. He's not very big. This is going to be a big, strong dog. This is the best equipment for him, this head harness. And it works a treat. Look at this. Copper. Yes, good boy. Watch this. See when he had a little protest? There you go, nothing. Let's go, buddy. Let's go. Let's go. Quick, quick, quick. He's just seen someone in the car there, wants to go to them. Let's go, bud. Pressure on, pressure off. There. Yeah, I did pull the dog a little bit. What happens if I don't? Guess what he learns? Well, if I just stop and protest, he's just going to stop with me. Have a look at this, guys. Look, just bear with me. Look at this. Look how loose it is. It's nothing. This is not a muzzle. This is not hurting a dog. I don't know why the stigma is so bad with these things. Probably just because the dog gets a bit sad walking on it initially. But you need to get on with that. You need to move on from that if you want your dog walking better. Yeah, some people do mistake them as a muzzle for some reason. I really don't know why. They don't really even look like a muzzle, but they just see something going across the dog's muzzle and sort of think negative thoughts of it. Even then, if someone does muzzle their dog, I say power to them. At least they're responsible. There's too many dogs out there that should be muzzled that aren't. They're not bad dogs, but they have potential to bite someone. So I do believe your dog should be muzzle trained. Take away any risk. It's one of the first things I say to people having trouble with their dog's reactivity, thinking they're going to bite. I say, look, if you're concerned, muzzle your dog. Muzzle train it, then we can work on the training and we can assess it, and it may not be going to bite someone. But why don't you take that risk away? Take that away straight away. Put a muzzle on your dog. Train it with a muzzle. They can learn to wear them comfortably. Then guess what? Your dog can't bite a dog or a person. Even if it wants to, it physically can't. So you then get to rest easy a bit more. You're not going to be as stressed when you take your dog in public. It may lunge, but you know it physically can't damage someone. Then you can work on the training. So I'd say firstly work on that prevention. Prevention is better than cure. You know, put a muzzle on your dog, then work on your training. Copper, you're doing so good. What a good dog. More clip of Copper. Probably seen enough of him, but I just want you guys to see how it works. He's a little nervous, he's only a young dog. Maybe a bit of a fear stage he's going through. Let's go. It's all new, all sound. Look at the pressure. Look at this. Watch this when I go slow. You can't tell how slow I'm going, but I've slowed right down. And then I can speed up. And then we can even jog. And that's good for him, get some energy out. Yeah, good boy. Nice. So guys, as usual, if you enjoy my videos, if you get something out of them, do me a favor. It's not painful. Hit that little subscribe button. It's really appreciated for all content creators like myself that help a lot of people and put a lot of hours into making this content. It's not a big deal to hit that subscribe button. Go on, you can do it. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it, guys. Learn something from this. whether it be introducing a slip lead, a head harness, whatever it is. Let's move past the stigma of these things being cruel. They are not cruel. They work really well, and you have a better walking dog for it, okay? So until next time, I'll see you soon. Bye.